Here we go again. So, both my groups are going to be using Dragon Slayer, so I'm rounding out some of my table rules. And last night I decided to do one for Treasure Division. Took way too long than it needed to. Some of that was me. Some of that was the party. I was in a bad mood. Once I'm in a bad mood, things don't go smoothly. I would normally apologize for that, but I don't care. This is how it is. So, I'm basically instituting how I used to do Treasure Division in a game that I played in with friends for damn near 20 years. And I think it cuts down on headache. Only thing I would change is the type of dice rolled. Because the party was being a little loosey-goosey about items, and then it seems like, I don't know, it was kind of weird. I find it is best if you roll for picks and you just pick. Difference this time is if there's NPCs and henchmen, I am rolling for the NPCs and henchmen and making their picks for them instead of players not giving henchmen and picking for their henchmen. Right? Has to be a group decision. Sometimes the group never agrees. A lot of times the group never agrees. Or you have people who are very vocal and the rest of the people never say a word, so you're never sure of the group consensus. You find out later that it wasn't actually group consensus, it was just who's more vocal. So, I'm going to nip it in the bud. I want my games to run more smoother, and I'm going to make them run smoother. As Cuthbert would say, all sharp edges would be pounded round. So we're going to do a high roll, pick first, and I'm going to put monetary items on there. Just got to get the guys to agree at what point, below what monetary value do you liquidate? 250, 500. So if you have a 250 gold piece gem, it's a pick. That way, we're like last night, we had several very expensive gems. Like 4 pretty good expensive gems. 690, 8 something, whatever, I can't remember. And not all the items were all that great for every player. But there's still some fighters in need of plate mail. Group didn't come together to buy plate mail. There was no group commie movement. They want to commie up the best item to the best player, but when it comes to equipping someone with plate mail, when we're having a scroll done, you have little factions that do it, and sometimes not at all. If you have a 400 piece or a 500 piece gold piece gem or piece of jewelry and a bunch of potions, a scroll, some weapons and armor, and you look at that list and there's nothing you really need, or you have very limited uses for that stuff, I take the gem. Wow, I'm going to buy me a suit plate mail. Done. I have a gambling problem. I'm the paymaster. I got to hire my whores. You know, some people will choose wealth. Wealth is a superpower in any game. So you divide all the coinage up evenly. I drop fractions. Fractions is the money spent at the tavern table when you're doing the division, right? On drinks or a bird or whatever. And then the more expensive items, I'm going to throw on the same list as I do magic items. Once they figure out what the magic items are, then they go through and they roll. And I'm going to do 3d6. Each person roll 3d6. If there's a tie, high die wins. Roll them bones. I think it's going to be a solution to some issues that I see forming. And I want to nip that stuff in the bud because I just want to run a game. I don't want to deal with petty shit. I don't. And I don't think Treasure Division should take more than 15 minutes. Ever. Should never take more than 15 minutes. Now, back in the day when we had huge loot runs and stuff, it might take a little longer because there's just so much stuff. But once you roll the dice and you go in your order of picks, it should literally be 5 to 10 minutes. The longest thing it might take is me putting the list together to post on the Discord channel. And I'm going to start being a thread Nazi. Use the threads! Can't find nothing on this board. If I gotta scroll up past 15 gifs and stuff, I'm irritated. This is the reason I made a game session one, and this is we got a general one, and this is in a different channel. Make a thread. XP division, treasure picks, tag. You have to tag them because people will never click the thread link. I don't understand. I got to feel a lot of people haven't used message boards or not from the BBS area, so they don't understand how that cascading board looks like. It might be part of it. I don't know. But I'm going to implement this. It's just a standard house rule. This is how you define treasure. You roll high. Now, if you don't agree with it and you're like, well, he should have this. He is the X. And you win the roll, then give it to him. Why not? That's what I'll do. That's what I'm doing. Tell me what you think. Do you have standard loot division rules, or you just let players hash it out? For the longest time here, I've been saying, you guys figure out how you do the loot. And it's a hot mess. Eats up time. It's eating up more time than I want it to eat up time. I like it to where they can get to the session and get back to town. But these guys camp in the dungeons, or we don't get finished a lot. So that back and forth is not going to happen. They're going to be camping on the floating rock, I think. And the other group hasn't decided if they're going to the same dungeon or a different one, or if they want me to do something different. We're going to talk about it on Wednesday and see what everybody wants to do. But I'm unifying the rule system. So any rulings or house rules are going to apply equally to both games, since they're using the same game system now. Heavy-handed, railroady, maybe. Is it necessary? Things which are necessary usually are, in my opinion, and in my experience. That which is necessary tends to sometimes be heavy-handed. Yeah. I'll throw it out there. Treasure division. How y'all doing it? D20, too linear. Use the bell curve. That way if you have a tie, instead of a re-roll, just take a high die. If we were playing a Western, it'd be a hand of cards. Everybody just draw a 5-card stud. That's how I would do it. 5-card stud for a Western game. Lay your hand down. That's your bro. I kind of want to do a Western now. I've been watching Westerns a lot lately, so I might do a Wretched Country on the side. I'm not sure. I keep saying that, but I don't do that or my space game. But yeah, curious. Do you let players do it? Are you guys the commie method, where we just assign it to who's best to use it instead of having the random roll? Curious. Later.